section of containers and eased the burden into the water, knowing that one of the dolphins would take charge of him. However, he was not prepared for what happened next. Under him, the boat lurched first one way and then the other in sharp jerks, as if the dolphins were trying to spill them into the sea. Ross heard Karawa call out, her voice thin and frightened. "Tao! Tina Raw! They have gone mad. They will not listen." The boat raced in a zigzag path. Locust clutched at Ross, striving to steady him, to keep the boat on an even keel. "The Poana!" Just as Locust cried out, Karawa plunged over the prow of the boat, whether by design or chance Ross did not know. And then the craft whirled about, smashed side against side with a dark bulk looming out of the fog. Above, Ross heard cries, knew that they had crashed against one of the raiders. He fought to retain his balance, but he had been knocked to the bottom of the boat against Locust, and they struggled together, unable to move during a precious second or two. Out of the air over their heads dropped a mass of waving strands, which enveloped both of them. The stuff was adhesive, slimy. Ross let out a choked cry as the lines tightened about his arms and body, pinioning him. Those tightened, wove a net. Now he's being drawn up out of the plunging skiff, a helpless captive. His flailing legs, still free of the slimy cords, struck against the side of the larger ship. Then he swung in over the well of the deck, thudded down on that surface with bruising force, unable to understand anything except that he had been taken prisoner by a very effective device. Locust dropped beside him, but Karawa was not brought in, and Ross held to that small bit of hope. Had she made it to freedom by dropping into the water before the Rovers netted them? He could see men gathering about him, masked and distorted in the fog. Then he was rolled across the deck, boosted over the edge of a hatch, and knew an instant of terror as he fell into the depth below. How long was he unconscious? It could not have been very long, Ross decided, as he opened his eyes on dark, heard the small sounds of the ship. He lay very still, trying to remember to gather his wits before he tried to flex his arms. They were held tight to his sides by strands which no longer seemed slimy, but were wrinkling as they dried. There was an odor from them which gagged him, but there was no loosening of those loops in spite of his struggles, which grew more intense as his strength returned. And at last he lay panting, knowing there was no easy way of escape from here. This concludes the reading of Chapter 8.